On a dry plain close to the coast of the Mediterranean Sea in Israel, a group of archaeologists is working against the clock in order to locate artifacts from a bygone era prior to the construction of a new road that would bury its secrets for future generations. In this video, we will talk about a remarkable finding that was uncovered by specialists in Israel and that completely rewrites what we thought we knew about civilization thousands of years ago. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. According to the available documentation, the ancient city of Nasr was found for the very first time in the 1950s. Nevertheless, it would not be for some decades that archaeologists would recognize how important the location actually was. Now, they are unearthing a gigantic metropolis that has been called the New York City of its day by some people. And it is certainly an astonishing sight today. The territory where the Nasr once stood, as part of a larger region known as the Southern Levant, which includes modern-day Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. This region includes the area where the Nasr once stood. It has occasionally extended its reach into parts of Syria. Archaeologists consider the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt and the Sinai Peninsula in Lebanon to be two of the most interesting areas on the planet to do their work. The southern part of the Levant is recognized today for the historical and political significance it has. In 1917, the United Kingdom acquired control of Palestine and established it as a mandatory territory. Israel was established in 1948, which resulted in the upheaval of over 700,000 Palestinians and the escalation of tensions between Jews and Arabs living in the region, which ultimately led to the creation of a country for Jews. Even in modern times, territorial lines and settlements are a source of chaos. In 1948, the Israel Department of Antiquities and Museums came into being. Since that time, it has been responsible for the excavation and cataloging of the region's numerous historical treasures. In 1990, the organization was renamed, and shortly after, it underwent a significant expansion, which made it possible for the team to begin undertaking more extensive archaeological surveys. For instance, in 1974, the organization was responsible for the removal of a mosaic dating back to the 6th century from the besieged city of Gaza City in the state of Palestine. The illustrious Dead Sea Scrolls, which were found in caverns in the 1940s close to Qumran in the Palestinian West Bank, are still the subject of debate. The archaeological significance of these religious works cannot be overstated. Before and after their involvement in the Six-Day War in 1967, Israel purchased a few of the manuscripts from their neighbors. Israel is currently digitizing the scrolls while also displaying them across the world. On the other hand, there have been Palestinians who have called for the documents' repatriation, arguing that their seizure in 1967 constituted theft. They determined that the iron hammer and nails were from the Byzantine period, and that they were approximately 1,400 years old based on the knowledge of the specialists. The discovery made by the IAA revealed previously unknown aspects of the history of the area. A representative for the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs provided an explanation for the conclusion in a statement that was issued in October of 2019. In July of 2019, archaeologists from the IAA identified a Neolithic site close to the district of Matzah in Jerusalem. The site was estimated to be around 9,000 years old and was the largest settlement that has ever been discovered in the Levant. The fact that it was discovered in a place that specialists had previously believed to be devoid of human habitation at the time forced them to reconsider how civilization arose in the region. A similar mission to save archaeological artifacts was undertaken by the IAA exactly 1 year prior, this time at a location approximately 60 kilometers further to the north. On account of the massive development that was going to take place on the Sharon Plain, which is located on Israel's Mediterranean coast, preparations had been made to start excavations before the construction began. 2 years later, in October 2019, they presented the findings of their labor beneath the planet. This discovery took them completely by surprise. It wasn't until the 1950s that archaeologists began to visit the location and over the course of the following decades, a series of modest excavations were done there. Excitingly, it is the oldest and largest settlement from that period to ever be excavated in the southern Levantine region. Archaeologists believe that Nasr was once home to as many as 6,000 people at its peak during the early Bronze Age. The city dates back to the early Bronze Age, which was around 5,000 years ago. During the frequently rainy weather that afflicted the southern Levant, it is obvious that this would have lessened the likelihood of flooding occurring. Archaeologists also found that the city of Nasr featured a number of public buildings for the purpose of providing protection. In addition, researchers discovered the ruins of a temple at the location, which provided intriguing insights into the religious practices that were followed in this early metropolis. Archaeologists have discovered evidence that the people who lived in Nasr were highly involved in trade with people from other parts of the world, but that they did not utilize writing. The use of ceramic remains, on the other hand, makes it very evident that they had ties as far away as Egypt and the Jordan Valley. In October of 2019, a group of archaeologists made an announcement regarding a cosmopolitan and planned metropolis that was home to thousands of people. However, the shocks did not end there, as it was soon revealed by experts that the site of Nasr actually dates back even more than 5 years. Archaeologists might not have much longer to solve the mysteries surrounding Nasr, despite the fact that the site is historically significant. In October 2019, newspapers claimed that the construction companies were going to be given the dig site in a matter of weeks, which would result in the archaeologists' hard work being covered up and possibly destroyed. Despite this, there is still reason to be optimistic about the prospects of further research into Nasr. Since the most recent excavations may have only covered as little as 10% of the magnificent city, researchers will have to concentrate on examining the objects that are already in their possession while the investigation into the history of Nasr is put on pause. That's it for today. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates.